This is one of my favorites. We're gonna work on techniques to improve our head movements, okay? I'm gonna review some of the techniques we have worked before or I've explained before in the previous courses, and also I will add some tips and explanations that I recently add to my methodology to improve and have better control also in our head movements, right? So let's get started. This class, as I said, is going to be head movement technique. So I will start just reviewing something that I explained before in the classes, but I think it's very important, okay? Because that's the reason of, let's say, the head movements that I use while I dance, right? So I separate the head movements in two groups, okay? Passive and active. Lately, let's say 95% of the movements that I use dancing in social and in my ladies' side classes are passive movements, okay? The active ones I use only, let's say, for shows or to, I don't know, feel some musicality details when I'm dancing in social sometimes, okay? But the passive ones means that they are created because of another movement or from another part of the body, okay? From the movement of another part of the body, okay? So I explained in the previous courses, in the body movement 1, I explained that there is one main tool, okay, to understand when I need to relax my head or to change the position of my head. There is two ways of explaining, okay? One is, imagine I have a line here in my shoulders, like draw a line. And when this line change, for example, to the sides, I'm gonna follow this direction or position change with my head because my neck should be relaxed at all times, right? Because it's difficult to understand when I want to change the perspective, I'm going to explain in another way. Imagine you have a little ball, okay, here in the middle, like on top of your stomach. So you can rotate to the sides too, right? Or you can play like going in, right? When you come in, that means that your head is coming forward. Okay, or when you come in like out, it means that your head is going up, right? So we're gonna practice an exercise for you to practice this basic passive head movements. The most important is that you feel or you create this change position from your knees and your rib cage, okay? So from all this, like shoulders and chest, okay, together. Before we separate it, now we're putting them together. So we're gonna relax the knees, When my rib cage relaxes to the side, I'm gonna have my knees bended, okay? This create more space between the vertebrae, so you're gonna feel more comfortable than if you keep your knees stretch all the time, right? So we go to the sides, relax, okay? It doesn't mean that you need to be bended like this, just relax your knees. Now we're gonna go forward, keep your knees on the same level, okay? Just relax all. Be careful with this, okay? When I go forward, it's just because I'm changing the direction, right? Or the position, but I'm not forcing my shoulders to go front, okay? Then from here, we go to the left or right. In my case, it's right. Right. I'm completely on the side. And when I continue the circle and I go back, or let's say up, I'm going to stretch my knees, okay? And up. And you can continue, complete the circle. One more time. Up. change, up, one more, in, contraction, up, right? Perfect. So we have the first exercise for you. Just remember, for any reason, start the movement directly from the head, because that will make this an active head movement, and that's not what we want, right? We want to create like this intention of relaxing the head because of another part of the body change, right? Cool. So we're gonna go to another explanation. Lately, I don't know when I started dancing Zouk or trying to learn, because I don't think I'm an expert now, but practice Zouk gave me a lot of tools and tips and different ways of practice my head movements, right? And I'm using, or let's say I'm preparing differently my head movements since the moment that I started dancing Zouk, right? What I'm doing, which makes a huge difference in the movement when you see from the outside, and also from the inside feels much better, because it's like it amplifies the movement. It's to prepare bigger, right? And let's say like more circular rather than sideways, right? So, for example, in a basic head movement, we go sorry. It's like so natural in my body now that I can't do normal. I did the same mistake in the previous class. Okay, so I go directly to the side, and then I go boom and up, right? This is what 95% of the people do, right? Which is good, and you are still like thinking about protecting your spine and everything, but we have, this curve in the spine, right? And this one, what we have here between the head and the upper part of the back, it's inside, right? So my preparation, what I am like adding to my head movement techniques, is I'm gonna prepare my chin inside. So I'm gonna correct the curve of my neck. And from here, when I go to the side, it doesn't feel anymore like going directly to the side, but I feel that I'm going a little bit back, side, in. When you put the whole thing together, it feels bigger, it feels more comfortable, it feels smoother, and it makes a huge difference, okay? So I'm gonna show you from the front, right? Instead of doing this, we do this. Yeah, so it's like a suspension, a breathing before letting go the movement, right? So if we put this in an exercise, you can practice with a basic turn, right? So I'm going to explain you front first and then to the back so you can practice with me. We go to the basic and 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to prepare 2 counts. 6, 7. Look. So the chin inside. 7, 8. Once I have my head on the side prepared, the most common mistake is that, ladies, you don't lay your head on the side. You suddenly change from passive movement to active, and you want to create the turn from the head. And this is not what we want, right? From here, we want to keep the head on the side, okay? Side back, opening the chest, big, and we go to the side. We turn, we keep the head in the same position, half turn. When we connect the last weight transfer, we're going to complete the head. Right? We go to the side 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, Stay there. Stay there. Now, when you open, you complete the head. Tap. And 1 or 5. What is this? 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So we start again, right? So I'm going to do it this way. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and stay, and up. Tap. And 1, 2, 3, and 5. Prepare. Chin in, chin, 1. Okay, remember this, you already know. Connect your ankle with your hip, with your chest, so you open the whole body. Tap, no tap, step, and then go up, tap, and 5. Okay, good. So there, you can practice this with slow music as many times as you want, right? And we go to the last explanation, which is something that I learned also from Zook, and I'm using and introducing a lot now on my social dance and on my ladies side classes and everything, because I think it's another different tool that is never used before in bachata, or I never seen before, which is the torsion of the rib cage, right? I'm going to explain first the exercise, and tomorrow, again, tomorrow, in the next class, not tomorrow, in the next class, you're gonna see how you can mix these two techniques, okay, with the movement, right? But it's very important you practice first the techniques separately, and then you put them together, okay, with the practical movements. But in my opinion, it's very risky and very bad to try first the practical one without doing the technique one, right? So imagine you were in the shower. Me encanta este ejemplo. I love this example. So imagine you're in the shower, right? And it happened to me a lot of times that I arrived to the hotels. Actually, it happened to me. And there is just this one going from the, from the ceiling, but not this one, right? And sometimes it's not the day of washing your hair, right? So imagine the water is coming down and you need to have shower, but you don't want to get your hair wet, right? So you're gonna extend your spine, look to the ceiling. So the water is here. And now you're gonna start rotating your body, but you have to keep the head in the same position, okay? So how you do this? You rotate. The water now is in your back. Okay? That's the technique, okay? So you need to think about, keep the same level, don't go down and up. If you start down, you stay down. If you start up, you stay up. It's kind of the same technique that I explained in the balance and spins class. We were doing the head stays on the spot, right? And you were turning the body, head stays, and the body turns. But let's say the axis was here on top, right? Now the axis is on the side or on the back, but you need to keep that axis, okay? And rotate with your body. Meanwhile, the head stays, right? So I'm gonna do it here to show you the example. I keep my head in this axis, and you rotate the body from the rib cage. And you can go to the other side, which is more difficult, but you can do it. Yes? Good? So, this was the explanation. We're going to see how we can mix both of them. What we explained about the prep, turn, and you can connect with rotation, okay? Or just simple rotation, for example, preparing, already extending the rib cage, and then thinking about just turning and keeping the head on the same place, okay? We're going to see that in the next class. So I hope you like this, and let's practice.